Championship Wrestling Show. We are now live, coming to you from around the world, because this is obviously the internet and you can do things like that. We're going to be discussing all kinds of things today happening in the world of pro wrestling. We are going to get a new WWE World Heavyweight Champion and all kinds of other stuff's going on. So we'll get into that and so much more after the intro.
We're locked in a cage, it's the Slam Jam Show. We're dynamite, you better feel alive. We're better than you, and you know it. Yeah. If you don't like it, we got two words for you. Slam Jam, Slam Jam. Feel the power, feel the roar. Slam Jam, it's the smackdown you've been waiting for. You can't see us, Chico, you've been serving hard time. Ooh, yeah. Slam Jam, and that's the bottom line. Slam Jam, now it's a Slam Jam wrestling show. We're life for life, the girl is the big show. You got no chance when you're real booking. That's the risk, that's the worst. If you smell what we're cooking, it's a Slam Jam wrestling show. The champion's here. Snap into a Slam Jam. The Slam Jam show. Yeah, yo. Yeah. Oh, you didn't know. It's the Slam Jam show. Read your glass. Whooping ass. It's the Slam Jam F1 show of you. Yeah.
Okay, so yes, welcome to Slam Jam. I'm David Postansky. Hello, greetings everyone out there in Slam Jam land. Ian, say hello to the people.
Happy Friday to the people.
Happy Friday indeed. Now, there's interesting stuff going on in the world of professional wrestling this week. Obviously, we discussed this last week, I think. Seth having to give up the world title has now been confirmed. And on Raw, they had a over-the-top rope battle royal to decide who would be going on to challenge Punk. I take you saw Raw this week?
I did see Raw this week, and it was a mixed bag. I would say, to put it mildly.
I can't believe they're just going to go back to Jey Uso. That's just my feeling now.
Yeah, I'm kind of mixed on that as well, because like it's so quick coming up to is it next weekend, or it's either next weekend or the weekend after?
It is something like that. It's Saturday night's main event. Yeah, it's November 1st, I think it is.
So like I'd rather Jay than like them try and rush something better than Jay, if that makes any sense at all. Like,
Well, okay, so what it would be something better than Jay?
well, they're obviously gearing
Anything.
up for well, maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
Bron Breakker is you know, they're having to sort of pull the trigger a little earlier than I guess they planned for his main event run.
Yeah.
But I think they did an okay job on Raw at making, like, because at first Adam Pearce just looked like a bit of a bitch, which I think was the plan. And I actually like that, because I saw that segment and I thought, well, if he puts them in the Battle Royal now, this is going to make him look even more like a bitch.
Yeah,
so I was kind of glad that they went, no, you don't get a spot, because you're the reason, storyline wise, you're the reason this has happened to Seth, you know. I
just wonder, though, how they will follow that up, or will they just kind of ignore it? Because will we just get Bron and Bron interfere? Like, they can't worm their way into the match. So,
well, my thought was okay, they're going to clean house. They're going to come out and say, if you try and make plans without involving us, then we'll just wreck everybody. And, you know, which I think would have been cool. I didn't enjoy the segment with Braun and Bronson once Heyman came back and like spun them this Paul Heyman BS about like not yet, and then they're both like, yeah, not yet, and it's like, no, that's completely robbed you of all your kind of momentum, and you literally came out holding the world heavyweight title.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, Yeah, I don't need it yet. I guess it was odd to say the least, and the battle royal itself was pretty mid, if I'm being kind.
Yeah, it
Jay,
was all
Jay
right.
was late for the big, like the idea being that Jimmy saves him twice. Hey,
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, get there, thanks.
Awesome.
Good to see you, Gav. Gav, we'll come back to you in a moment, Ian. Gav, quickly say hello to the people.
Hello, people.
So there we go. We were just discussing the battle royal from Raw to decide who would be challenging Punk because the world title is now vacated. And Ian, do you want to just pick up from where you were?
Well, I was just going to say that the story that they're telling with the Usos, which again I'm bored of, but they were telling a certain part of that story effectively with Jimmy saving Jay twice, I think, if not 3 times in the battle royal, and then having Jay not give a shit about whether he was going to save his brother, you know. But Jay was so late doing that spot that they were basically both already. I can't remember who Jimmy was with. Who was it with that Jimmy was with that Jay knocked them both out?
Yeah, he did. That's how you want it.
And they were both basically already out. And Jay went and knocked the other guy, who I wish I could remember. And Jimmy was just like, "Oh, I'm here too." And it was just then Jimmy's having to sell like, "Oh, Jay, how could you do it? How could you do it?" And it's like he barely did it, you know. So what they were going for, I guess, worked more than the execution, which I guess is Jey Uso in a nutshell. But yeah, it was interesting to see where it goes. I think if it was me, I don't think you're going to like this, David, but I think I'll put the belt on Jay.
Right. Well, I understand the logic of it. Like, if they were going to build up to WrestleMania to finally do CM Punk versus Seth, and now it's a case of, oh well, Seth's out. We don't want to just put the belt on Punk here,
right? I would say that Punk Cody is the match that they haven't used yet for Mania.
Yeah.
So I think if it was me, I would not have Punk win that.
I'm still banking on Smashing Machine having failed. I just want Cody and Rock just to happen. That is the match still is in my opinion.
But then would it be Rock and Roman? Like, because that never happened.
Oh, it was LA Knight. Hang on. So it was okay. So let's just quickly.
Oh, that makes sense.
I can't show it here. So LA Knight and Jimmy, and then it left Dominic there. And I was like, oh, Dom's going to win, and especially with that spot where Dom had been eliminated and then got back in. I was like, this is what happened with Austin when he won the Royal Rumble, and he just lost anyway. I was like, what was the point in this?
Right.
Just that whole Eddie Guerrero thing, isn't it?
What the cheat steal? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that was a real shame.
Dom will he'll get his world title reign. I believe it now. Like,
well, that does put him a bit closer, you know, because he could have been the #1 contender that quickly. Gav, what was your thoughts on the Battle Royal on Raw, the Seth situation overall?
Okay, I think. Okay, I can see what they're trying to do. They're going to try to, as you said, have the Usos going against each other again, and I think it's to rectify that abysmal abysmal match they had at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
and I don't know if I really want to see it again.
I don't.
I can't believe that. I can't believe they're going to try and rectify it. Like,
okay, so just quickly, so there was the famous quote of Vince McMahon saying, "Brothers don't fight," right? And then Brett and Owen showed how good it can be.
Yeah.
Matt and Jeff showed that it didn't work.
Yeah.
Jimmy and Jay showed it doesn't work. Yeah. Are there any other brothers that have wrestled each other?
I was just going to say Kane and Taker.
Yeah. Well, Edge and Christian, you know, all the three brothers. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I think Edge and Christian kind of, from when I'm thinking back to my sort of teenage fandom, I remember Edge and Christian being really invested in that. But then, as you've said, David, with Matt and Jeff, that was weird. It was weird and sad, and not in a like engaging way, just in a like that. This is not it. Like,
they didn't want to do it, and it came across basically.
Yeah, it's really bad.
I
think,
go on. Yeah.
Me personally, I would have had LA Knight winning it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Obviously. Yeah, that's or Dom. Because that way, then Punk versus LA Knight, I might really be like, LA Knight's going to do it. And I think people would actually side with LA Knight to do it over Punk, maybe.
I think that's the best way to do it, with LA Knight actually going in and becoming the first-time champion. And then, even if you wanted to switch it up a little bit, you can even have LA then turn heel. That's LA Knight's main event. And then got the story to build on from there. But yeah, I'm not too sure if I really wanted to see Jay. And again, I won't be surprised if Jay wins the title.
Right.
Yeah, so, I wouldn't either.
I think if you said to me a month ago, turn Jay or turn LA Knight, I'd have turned LA Knight all day. I think he's got a really good heel run in there somewhere. And I feel like, I don't know what you guys think, I feel like when I'm watching Punk and Knight, there's real needle there of two guys who are similar, but maybe don't like each other. And not in a bad way, but just the way Punk was commenting on LA Knight when he was like, "Oh, nice move, jackass! You put on a submission move in the Royal Rumble." Like, there's something there that I'd like.
Do you know what? Them two, I keep on saying, they're three phases of Negan.
From The Walking Dead.
Yeah, they've got.
Okay, explain this to me. So, what are the phases?
They've got a kind of similar look to Negan somehow to me.
Oh, what visually?
I can see it in Punk.
Does kind of look like Negan.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, I've never thought about that before. So, CM Punk, has he cosplayed as him?
He probably has. I know that he gets slack compared to Jeffrey D. Morgan all the time.
Okay, so I put in CM Punk Negan, and the top result is CM Punk looks like Negan. Right.
That's
he does. That does kind of do it. Okay, let's make sure that these aren't too dodgy. Okay, so this image kind of sums it up. Yeah, I kind of see it.
And what's the back called?
Lucille.
Lucille. That's it. Yeah, I can see Punk running around with that. He'd be getting to pay tribute to Negan and Foley at the same time.
I mean, I'm sure this works better for when Punk was in AEW, but basically Negan, as much as people liked him or whatever, kind of began the end of the popularity of The Walking Dead. Because when they brought him in and he had that first storyline, there were so many complaints and the ratings began to tank after that. So I'm sure you could find some parallel there, but don't think it quite applies with Punk. Wow. Okay, so I definitely would have Punk win over Jay, and I'll just go with the logic now of you're having to adapt on the fly. If Seth comes back in time, then it's for WrestleMania. Then you can have Seth. Well, I wouldn't want him winning the Royal Rumble, so you have some other means. But you have Seth versus Punk as you intend. Get it done and out the way, and then they can both move on from that storyline once and for all. And it will just be, well, if Seth wins the world title from Punk, and maybe you go into a heel CM Punk. He's been back long enough where you could do something with that. But having to keep that just like, oh, we'll give it to someone else so Seth can win it. So in some point in the future, Punk can win it from Seth. It's just, I think the moment may have passed now.
I think so.
And do we know how long is Seth out until Mania, or is he out?
I don't know. He might. I don't know.
I think the last I heard is that they're going to cut him open and then have a look and see how bad it is.
Yeah.
Which I think Mania
it's obviously long enough where they felt they had to take the title off of him. So they could have, because they've got 2 world titles. They could have done something where they just have a storyline reason why he doesn't defend it, or he defends it and the Bronze come in and just get him a quick pin on someone just whilst he's recuperating. So obviously they think that he can't do that.
I think it's going to be about 6 months to a year.
That's rough.
And that dictates being a babyface when you come back, whether he wants to be or whether they want him to be or not. Like when you're gone for that lot, like Liv Morgan when she comes back is going to be rivaling Rio for babyface pop. Like, because absence makes the heart grow fonder,
Yeah. I think though, there's if they fully go for the Jey Uso heel run, that if it works out well, it could work out well. But I just don't think he's strong enough on the mic to be able to cut promos.
I think in the ring he's so weak that what carries him at the moment is the crowd support, shouting yeet when he's doing moves.
Yeah.
He's not going to be able to do heat sequences where he's like keeping the babyface down for 10 slow minutes. Like, I just don't see it at all. Like, I think, it's going to be interesting, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be good.
I was really hoping that the Usos were just going to get back together.
Just retire.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it seemed like they reunited and reunited and immediately were falling out with each other. It's like there was a real nice babyface run there. Like, a real nice nostalgic, like Jay's got his mojo back kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because they were a great tag team. Like that was their strength.
And even like run it back with like Usos versus New Day.
I was thinking exactly the same.
Rejuvenates the New Day as well, because they've just been rubbish.
Oh my god, their heel turn was so shocking and was such a big moment, and they literally did nothing with it ever since.
It rivals Cena in my mind in terms of the turn being so shocking and so great. Yeah. And then everything that follows just being, what the hell is this?
Exactly.
Yeah.
What happened?
And also, and obviously Big E had no plans to come back. He's done nothing. He's pretty much said, I'm kind of at peace with my career being over. But still, they did that with him for him to have no comeback. He didn't bring in like a new team. It was like, well, I'm going to manage someone else to kick your ass, or or to reconcile or something.
But I think, like, ever since Triple H has taken over, it's just a shock value. It's just TKO, Triple H, everything's just, do you know what? What can we get to make people talk?
Viral moments.
Yeah, exactly. We're not going to build on it or anything. We just want shock value, and it's good.
Well, okay.
We
can come back to anything from Raw, but this is kind of a nice segue onto one of the interesting things over the last week on WWE using AI to replace writers on the creative team. I'm kind of thought they already probably were doing that.
I think so,
because it comes across this way.
All the outfits, they compete in the same similar outfits now, and it's just like you've got Charlotte and going back to Tiffy. Then you had, what was it recently? I can't remember who it was actually Tiffy and Jade Cargill in the same red outfits.
That's right, yeah.
So I was like, what are they doing?
Did you see the Lashley rumor with the AI writing?
Well, I saw something about this. It was really bizarre.
One of the things that it generated was the return of Bobby Lashley, disregarding the fact that he's contracted to AEW, as someone who's obsessed with Japanese culture and look and whatever, like just the worst. But I imagine they're already using AI, like you said, and I think I'm not someone who's like totally opposed to AI in all of its forms. I think it can be used alongside your creativity. What I hope they don't do is just go, give it to AI to see what AI comes up with.
Exactly.
See, I'm kind of from the side that I really like AI, right? And I know it's really popular for people to say, AI is taking jobs and stuff, and whilst it is, I don't deny that it will create as many jobs as it takes away. It's an evolving technology kind of thing. No one is sitting with a pen like made of a feather and writing Shakespeare scripts anymore. Technology moves on. It doesn't, but the thing I've always likened it to, Gav, I think you'll definitely understand this being more of a gamer. Ian, you may or may not be on board with what I'm about to go into, so I apologize. But do you remember a few years ago, there was a game called Super Mario Maker, where you could make your own Super Mario levels. So you could design them. And what they found out within the first 2 months is even though they provided all of the public with the tools to be able to make their own levels, 99% of them weren't any good. So you still need the human creative to actually control any technology. You can give the same canvas and paintbrushes to an artist, and you can give it to literally anyone, and only the cream will rise to the top. So I think, people freak out about anything new, but eventually, we'll get on board with it. However, I have just asked AI. WWE are allegedly planning to use AI to write storylines. Please, could you now suggest a booking for this upcoming week's Raw? It needs 5 matches and let's say 3 main storylines. And go. Let me just make sure I've spelled this correctly because I'm typing as I talk. Right, let's see what it comes up with.
When you've done that, I've gone one further while you guys were talking.
Yeah, go on.
And I might have WrestleMania 42 booked.
Oh, okay.
Thanks to AI, so we'll see what that's come up with.
Oh shit! Okay, this sounds exciting already. So, main storyline 1: Cody Rhodes versus the Bloodline's new enforcer. Ah, amazing! You can tell this is actually what Triple H did. This is how, what's his name? Mateo. Yeah.
Solo Sikoa has recruited Jacob Fatu as his new.
Wait, this is old. Liv Morgan's psychological warfare. This is old.
Hold on, have
Sami
you got
Zayn's fractured alliance with the New Day?
Have you got a review of a previous episode here? Is that what that's done?
It might be.
When I told AI to book WrestleMania, it kept on saying, to book WrestleMania, you'll need to buy a combo ticket for both. No.
Street fight for intensity. Jacob Fatu versus Cody.
I'm surprised they didn't put him and Roman for that one. Street Fighter.
Yes.
Okay,
yeah.
Cody. Wait, so according to this is Jacob Fatu's debut. And yet he's going to pin Jacob Fatu with a crossroads in the main event.
Well, it's Cody.
Well, yeah, it's true. Oh, gosh. Yeah. So, yeah, it's got a long way to go. Yeah. My main thing with AI is that, look, there was this story a few months ago saying that it couldn't be Atari at chess from like the 1970s. And I worked on a project earlier in the year, which coincidentally, nothing to do with this, had to have a chess game in it. And I asked AI, because I don't know enough about chess, I can play it, but I'm not knowing strategy and everything. Like, what's the sequence of a chess game that can be, someone can dominate and get a surprise win within 10 moves? And every single time I tested, because, just bring up a computer and test it, it never made sense. It could never string together a 10-move chess match. So this is the problem. So it needs humans to be able to tweak this anyway. But it'll be interesting to see how this evolves or whatever. I mean, the alternative is that you have... Look, over the years, I don't think it can be any worse than when you think about... We've had the Vince Russos... you have the fun and games of Tony Khan just forgetting people exist for months on end. So it'll be interesting. It might turn out a lot better. Time will tell.
Have to see. Yeah.
So one of the other things I spotted, and feel free to jump in with anything that I should be talking about that I've forgotten.
Well, I can tell you exactly what's going to happen at WrestleMania if you want to know.
Yeah, go for it.
We've got this is night 1, opening match. Gunther, the Intercontinental Champion Gunther, don't know how we'll get there, but never mind, versus Ilya Dragunov versus Sami Zayn, which, to be fair,
that'll be good.
That triple threat match. Dragunov pins Sami, not Gunther. That was the finish. Women's Tag Team Showcase, Bianca Belair and Jade versus Damage Control, Io Sky and Kairi Sane.
Okay.
Jade pins Io.
There is a thing about like AI is a few months behind on certain things, isn't it?
Yeah.
According to this, it's like it must be a year or more behind.
Yeah, exactly.
Gunther is the Intercontinental Champion, Damage Control. Logan Paul versus LA Knight.
Didn't that happen at WrestleMania?
Already done. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is old news. Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch.
Okay,
Well, here you go. Look, main event: Bloodline Civil War. Rock and Roman versus Cody and Seth. It's just like copied and pasted.
Yeah.
Oh, they're bringing Money in the Bank back though, according to AI, for WrestleMania Night 2. Bron Breakker, Ricochet, he'll be back. Dominic Mysterio, Kevin Owens, Solo Sikoa, And a surprise return, say AJ Styles.
Okay, I've just said to AI, we can get off the AI thing soon. I said, pitch me a brand new WWE character for a wrestler who is 6'5" and can do high flying moves. And his name is, what the hell? Zephyr Kane. What? Built from the Eye of the Storm. I love it. No city, no country, just altitude. Imagine the arena dim to an electric blue. It's blue. It's come up with blue pain, basically. A single spotlight cuts through fog that's out of nowhere, blah, blah, blah. Wind machines howl, then crack, a bolt of simulated lighting freezes on Zephyr. Is that how am I pronouncing this? I can't even say this guy's name. Zephyr Kane explodes from the entrance tunnel into a 450 splash onto the stage itself. I said WWE, not AEW. Landing into a crouch with arms spread like wings. The crowd loses it. Okay. He is the human hurricane. His gimmick fuses Storm Chaser Adrenaline Junkie with Mythic Sky God. So he's also Glacier as well. He doesn't walk to the ring. He rides the jet stream. Every entrance is unique. 1 week he base jumps from the rafters with a carbon fiber glider wing that detaches midair into a springboard moonsault over the top rope.
I've just figured out AI 7 years old.
7 years old.
Sounds like a 7-year-old written.
Oh yeah, it is. It does, doesn't it? His look, blonde.
Ask him to generate a picture.
Oh my god, yes. Okay. Let's. I look, before I do this, AI is weird. So, generate a picture of this wrestler.
Wow.
Okay, let's see what it comes up with. Zephyr Kane.
Might take a little while.
Oh, I don't know. These things are usually pretty quick, unless it tells me that it's going to be inappropriate. A preparing image. So just as it's doing this, oh no, it's done it. It's done it. Okay, hang on. It's just Finn Balor, to be fair. It's just Finn Balor with like a blonde wig. So there you go. That's Zephyr Kane.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay, so one of the other things I've seen is about Chris Jericho potentially coming back to WWE.
Yeah, those rumors aren't going away, are they?
They aren't going away. Now, do you think he's fueling them just to get a higher offer from AEW?
I kind of think he's coming back. I think he's probably coming back for the retirement run.
I think he's got nothing to still do in AEW at all.
No.
And
sorry, is he got a lead behind the scenes at all at AEW?
Has he got a what?
Has he got like a big role behind the scenes?
This was the rumor, but that was like when all of the problems with Punk happened, and then Jericho signed a new contract. There was like that he's got some elevated role,
right?
Exactly. I never heard a single thing about that since.
No,
I imagine he's like locker room leader type veteran presence, because I think Bryan Danielson was as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Because they were like a leadership committee, or was it a discipline committee or something that Bryan Danielson was heading up?
Yeah. And like the thing that's so funny about that is Daniel Bryan was like, "You've got to fire CM Punk." These guys were friends. Punk wanted to be fired. He just got he's got his buddy out of that. You know. I think there is absolutely nothing for Jericho still to do in AEW, because he's gone from AEW World Champion, only ever had the one run. He had a Ring of Honor World title. Then didn't he have like the Taz belt, like the FTW Championship belt?
That as well, yeah.
And if I was him, I'd just be like, it's like you're barely using me. Now the unfortunate thing for Jericho is since he went to AEW, he now is seen as a figure of controversy, which he must have looked at like Brock and things in WWE. It's like, oh, they just don't care, right? So, you know, they'll bring me back. So I think he'll turn up. I think the fans will cheer him. And like we've been saying over the last few weeks, so Next year, AJ will retire. Jericho will sign for 2 years. He'll do his retirement year the year after.
Yeah.
And, you know.
That's the best place to retire, to be fair. Like, because then at least you know you're going to get your Hall of Fame as well. Induction.
Yeah.
So it makes sense.
And probably get a nice Legends contract after that, so
Yeah,
they can keep
exactly.
you on the hook for any reunions or
Exactly
surprise
that.
pops or whatever.
Yeah.
And
There
his
is a
AEW run kind of petered out, didn't it? Like the
Mm.
end of his AEW run was arguably his worst stuff since
Yeah.
he moved there.
Yeah.
And as someone who's reinvented himself famously so many times,
Yeah.
like this would be a good time to.
I was going to say, I'm not sure why he's not commentating anymore. Like,
Well, Jericho.
Yeah.
Probably it's probably that he probably thinks he's still got some money to be made,
Okay.
and if they just water him down, then he just doesn't have any value. Whereas if he does come back for this retirement run, you know, in storyline wise, he could go to NXT and get the NXT title, the TNA title, and he's just like, I'm the only man who can collect these world titles that has never had all of these. I'm going to be the history maker. And then he can be like, and then I'm going to set my sights on the world title that I've never held in WWE. I was the original actual world champion. And there's still storylines there, you know.
It's true. Yeah.
But I don't know. It depends how, like, he can still go enough in the ring, you know, but obviously if you look at when he wrestled Omega a few years ago, like even when he debuted in AEW, he'd lost something compared to a year earlier, you know, and to when he was fighting like Kevin Owens and stuff like that. So it's been like a decline, but you know, he's not.
What, probably
I don't know.
He's got to be nearly 50, is he?
He's got to be at least 50. I'm going to say 55. Yeah, Chris Jericho. And the answer is 54.
54. Okay.
But he'll be 55 on November 9th.
Right. Okay. Gosh.
Yeah.
I would call it a day, to be honest. But I mean, that's me.
But he definitely doesn't need the money. Like, he is someone that how many books has Jericho released as well? Like, he's had like 4 or 5. Him and Foley have had the most autobiographies out of any public figures ever.
Thing with Jericho though is that he chases pops like Zephyr Kane chases storms.
Zephyr Kane. Cool stuff. No, okay, so what else is going on? What else did any of you see the AEW pay-per-view from the weekend?
Full disclosure, like you and I did a show last week and we didn't talk about Wrestle Dream at all.
Yeah,
I totally forgot it was even happening until I
thought it was like a week away, is the thing. Yeah, at 100%.
I've seen clips of the I Quit match, but I'm not going to watch it. Like,
okay, do you know what? Oh, that's it. Yeah, because I was going to say I was away anyway. The I Quit match, I saw little bits of it, and they're not my thing anyway. So, yeah.
I mean, the interesting thing about that is apparently the state they were in meant that they couldn't do certain things. So they couldn't do like blood and like they couldn't do all kinds of stuff like this. And so, in fairness to them, they were creative. They're like, well, can we drown someone? They're like, let's do it. Let's just do it. Right. And I don't like all of, I think there is a collection of like, you could do a highlight of the top 10 things AEW have done which have crossed the line. And I think these cross a line which wrestling doesn't need to cross. Like when you had Jericho versus Orange Cassidy and it was like in the orange mimosa, you have to slam someone into a pool of orange drink. Right, and then Jericho went in there, and it was like it's just water, Jericho. Yeah, there's no reason you should be knocked out from falling into this. If you do an angle like that, and it's like I'm going to dunk someone's head, and they're splashing around, and it all seems very silly, but literally having a fish tank with someone like John Moxley like this, literally just drowning someone, it's like shit. The kid's going to die in a fish tank or in a toilet or something. So I don't like stuff like that. I didn't like. the syringe thing with Hangman Swerve.
Yeah.
And I didn't. Oh my God! Do you remember the Spike bat that like we speaking about Negan earlier with Moxley? There's things which I think they've done which I wouldn't do. In WWE, as ridiculous as it was, I think the Seth versus Ray pop your eye out match to win. I think, to be honest, even though it was so clearly bogus and fake, I think the idea of that was worse than some of these other things.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, I literally have no interest in this as a concept.
It's just stupid. I just think
I thought it was awful. I thought it was ridiculous.
Like, the thing is, wrestling is not real, but you still want to believe it is, right? You still want to, like...
Don't you lie to me, Gav.
Sorry. You still want to be able to have that realism, and like, come on now. I can't believe someone's going to be like, again, I've mentioned it in our group, Austin with a gun. It's just like, how dumb is that? You know, like, come on now.
What, the Austin Pillman thing?
Yeah. And it was just like...
The only thing I'll give that... Oh, do you mean Austin with the gun with McMahon?
Or even that.
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
That was... It was entertainment, but it was stupid.
Oh, yeah, exactly. So the thing with McMahon in the ring, and then he pees himself.
Right.
You know, I just don't know how you'd even approach doing something like that nowadays, where someone supposedly got a gun there. The thing with Pillman, though, is that, to me, that was so well shot. At the time, I was like, oh my God, what's just happened?
Yeah.
And it was unseen before. But also, it was at someone's house. It cut out before anything happened. You know, it was very brief, and that was in the era of where they were trying to be like
daytime TV.
Yeah,
like,
it was Jerry Springer.
Right, Jerry Springer,
yeah.
And also like TV shows like The Young and the Restless. Oh, he's coming with a gun. It's just like
The Young and the like Dallas.
It's just like something like daytime TV shows and all that kind of stuff. It's just, I don't like when it goes that way.
Exactly. The whole point is it's meant to be a sport. It's meant to be
exactly, and you're supposed to your goal as a superstar or a wrestler or whatever is to try and win the wrestling match.
Right. Exactly.
And I think that's one of the problems I have with the drowning spot. It's like, well, he can't say I quit, can he? If you're drowning the guy, and like, do you want to murder him and go to prison, or do you want to win this match? And you can win a match in a violent way.
Yeah.
But you have to get him to say I quit, which, by the way, they didn't mic Moxley, so no one heard him say I quit when he did tap.
Yeah.
So just try and win the match. By all means, be violent if that's your thing and that's your audience. But like, it's got to be a means to an end, not just okay, he's dead now, so now what do I win?
Do I go to jail now?
Right.
Well, this is where I feel like they've gone too far with Moxley, basically, because clearly this was always his stuff. Like I always remember from years ago, I saw like an interview with Dean Ambrose where he was like he wanted to do all this cool stuff with Brock, and Brock was just like no, and I was like, oh Brock, why didn't you do that? Yeah. It's like we know why. It's because he was going to bring out like a bed with barbed wire across it, like he did with Kenny Omega. And
now you just mentioned that. I think that interview was done with Chris Jericho as well.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, on the podcast.
Oh, that's right. That because he had a really famous episode of Talk Is Jericho, didn't he? Where he sort of shot on his departure from WWE. Yeah.
Full circle moment, right?
Full circle.
There you go. Okay, something else from the AEW pay-per-view that I think is worth mentioning. Mercedes Moné is now Ultimo Moné with, I think she's got 12. I think that was her 11th championship, but I think she's got another one in the week since.
12.
So she's now got 12 titles.
How many times has she defended?
Well, that's a really good question. Because, like, has she defended any of them at all?
You know what? There's a good
the AEW one.
Good potential downward spiral story there. If she like loses and loses and loses, like first defense of each of those, she just loses them all.
That'd be good.
And does she lose them all before she wins the big one?
She has to, right?
I think it would be a good way of, because if she just collects that next one, then doesn't really differentiate it to the others. Yeah.
One of the problems though is like, is there any reason why if she loses one, it should all spiral? Because once if she loses 3, but then wins 2 more different ones, it's like,
but then
what does any of this mean?
Well, story-wise, I guess that would kind of muddy the waters a bit, wouldn't it? Because like if she's losing some, winning others. Whereas I really like the idea of her amassing this collection, and then suddenly she just can't keep hold of them, and she's like trying to keep herself together and keep it all. And she can then get put into a match for the TBS title.
So
is that the biggest title that she's got, really, prestige-wise, is the TBS?
Well, it's the AEW belt, that and the Ring of Honor, but Ring of Honor is meaningless nowadays. So,
well, certainly secondary to.
So she's the current AEW TBS champion. Does this count the Owen Hart Cup? Is that
that's a bit like the Crown Jewel Championship, really.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it works for the sake of her being the collection.
She is the first time and the current Bestia Women's Champion, and the Body Slam Women's Champion. Let's see what else. What else current? CMLL World Women's Championship. See that one?
That
one
British World Women's Champion. It would British
DW Discovery Wrestling. European Wrestling Association. See, if she'd got the New Japan belt as well, if she had titles that meant something.
Oh, Rev Pro is the one I was thinking of.
Rev Pro, yeah.
Yeah.
Ring of Honor. But even then, it says that Ring of Honor interim. I don't know the backstory of why it's interim, but yeah. I don't know, like... I just don't know where these belt collector storylines can go now, because you think a year ago or 2 years ago, it was the big deal to say Becky 2 belts. Yeah. Right? So it's now Mercedes 12 belts. Yeah. So at a certain point, like it tops out as having any meaning.
You can see why, like, the independent promotions though are booking her to be their champion, because she's by all accounts been pretty good for business. Like.
I should book her to be the Slam Jam Women's Champion.
She might be working.
She might be.
Have you got a belt for it?
No. I'll have one made.
We are not prepared.
Yeah, I'm not prepared for this moment. I don't even have something that remotely looks like a belt to hand. Oh well. But yeah, so I think these were like the biggest headlines out of Wrestle Dream. But again, like AEW, it hasn't quite hooked me back in. I was genuinely all in the maybe like the first 4 years, but in the last year, I've just been like, I've been lost on it, trying to get back in when it comes to pay-per-view time, which is crazy because being in the UK, it's on ITV, but just that. Such a abysmal time. It's like I never watch it on ITV.
I think for me as well is that it's always so much after the fact. Like it's like days later.
Yeah.
By which point I've already seen the spoilers. I've already seen the highlights. Whereas like Raw, I don't go on social media until I've watched, that previous night's Raw or SmackDown or PLE or whatever.
Yeah.
And just it's so much time. That's my thing as well. It's how many hours do we have? And like, if I could devote more to wrestling, then great. But like, it's just not physically possible.
And especially when it's gone forever.
My God, yeah.
So,
yeah. No, it's one of the unfortunate things. Is just like having time to watch it all. And like we've said this like over the years. Like what was it called? Rampage. When that first started, AEW Rampage. The first couple of episodes of that was so exciting. It was an hour. It was tight.
Was that Punk's debut? Was that on Rampage?
Yeah. The first one,
the first dance.
Christian won the TNA World Title on the first episode from Kenny Omega. Yeah. The next week, like CM Punk debuted. It's like, oh my God, this show is so cool, but
it's not even on anymore, is it? Rampage?
No, Rampage. Basically, it got replaced with Collision as an important show. But along the way, they'd also had Dark and Dark Elevation, and it was just so, and at first I felt like, okay, so they're gonna have like their version of the WWE network, and they're just trying to get as much video you know, filmed as they can. But yeah, it's just so hard to watch everything. I watched NXT this week for the first time other than like when they do like pay-per-view style stuff. I haven't seen the weekly NXT in ages, and I had a women's battle royal, and it was good. You know, it was all right.
I was going to say I kind of missed the old AEW because it was so good back then. Like the whole concept of it.
I just feel like it felt so hopeful because it felt like they made him Stardust. We're going to see him done correctly. And then not only was it just like, oh, now he's being done correctly in WWE, but it's like, oh, Cody was the one that said, like, let's, I bet I'll take that bet. And he doesn't believe in it anymore. And it's like an AEW, the promise is they're going to be the ones to bring CM Punk back because that evil WWE. And now WWE may be evil. I don't deny that at all. But he then went there and he's like, oh, he thinks that they're a bad environment. He's willing to go back to WWE rather than be at AEW. There's all these things that just sort of feel like the goodwill doesn't feel there.
There's a couple of interesting books to be written, I feel like, if Cody writes a book, if Punk writes a book, and who knows, maybe Tony Khan will write a book, or some of the elite will write a book.
Tony Khan can't write a book. You saw what Tony Khan wrote to Ibushi, right? Did we cover that on the show? Tony Khan wrote a note. Okay, hang on. Tony Khan, Ibushi.
I'll wait for Penta's book.
Hang on, Tony Khan. Let's see if we can find it. Okay, so this is genuine. So Tony Khan sent a letter to Kota Ibushi after he broke his leg, and this is what he sent him. And it looks like it was written by like a 7-year-old wrote this. Like, I guess it says, "Thank you for your hard work. I wish you all the best in your recovery. Everyone in AEW respects you so much. Thank you. God bless Mr. Kota Ibushi. Best, Tony Khan, age 12." You know, this is the genuine.
I can't say anything. My handwriting's bad as well.
Well, it's not only that. It just doesn't. Now, maybe this is, and it's really personal, and he'll hold on to this forever. Yeah. But it's just, it looks terrible. Yeah. Like, the message is so, like, bland. It's just, like, generic. It's like AI wrote this as well. Yeah, so, imagine just, like, 300 pages of this. I like Chris Jericho so much. I asked him, please, Mr. Jericho, will you come to my wrestling team? Right? It's just like...
Oh, dear.
Yeah. So, what else happened? Anything else major from Raw, or what else is happening in the world that I'm forgetting about, guys?
I thought the tag title switch was incredible. That was a great match.
Oh yeah,
and it made me remember how much I love tag team wrestling. And like, I think tag team wrestling is probably the first thing that kind of got me hooked on wrestling as a whole. And so it's just so nice to see it.
Okay, so who were your teams back in the day?
Oh, the Brood.
The Brood. Okay.
The Brood. I think the Brood were maybe in the first wrestling match I ever watched on a VHS tape. And
I love the fact that you even say the Brood rather than just Edge and Christian. Right?
No, it was very much the Brood, and then I became Edge and Christian, and then an Edgehead for years and years. But yeah, I love tag team wrestling, and it was great to have it in its proper place on Raw. But what I thought was laughably stupid is getting Joe Tessitore to say Judgment Day have defended their title once in 111 days. And do you know what that says to me? That says they're cowards. And I was like, no, do you know what that says to me is dreadful booking.
Yeah.
Like, it's just it's been absolutely abysmal since they were champs, since the New Day were champs, the War Raiders. They've done nothing with the tag division. No. And yet they gave it a bit of time. They gave it a title match, and it was great. The title switch from New Day to Judgment Day was great. Like those were great matches, but they're just getting lost. Like,
that's the thing, because after this great match as well on Raw, I bet it's going to just be lost now. I think
you're right. I think
my hope is that because it's AJ and they seem to now be going, okay, he's the one we're going to give the Cena treatment to for the next few months or whatever, that maybe they'll I think what they should do is do what Sami Zayn's been doing with the US title and say, okay, we're not going to be like the Judgment Day. we're going to defend it every week. And then
but how long was Sami tagged? Well, I wouldn't mind actually if they look like he defended it like 5 times or 5 weeks, right?
And they were great, but they were great matches.
No, fair play. Oh, so they might be lining Sami up for that Royal Rumble, but I don't know. It'll be interesting to see where if he goes any build to be in that position by then. Because
the thing is, I think we might have touched on it already. Would it be better to have him win this Royal Rumble or the next one? Because
this is what I've heard as well, right?
Yeah, fair point.
Sorry, Gab, I cut you off then. You were going to say.
No, you basically cleared it. Like, because going into WrestleMania in Saudi, that's next. Not this one's coming, but
the Saudi Mania title win is arguably, a bigger moment, capital M moment for them than a Rumble win in Saudi. Yeah, I think. You're right.
I agree. Actually, no, that's a really good point. Just coming back to like tag team titles and like AJ Lee tag team champions, right?
Do you think that's why they put them together? Because they saw the little mission, right? They're pretty great together, to be fair. Dragon Lee.
Even Punk had the picture of them together, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He was like, AJ Lee, but what about?
There's got to be some story where it's like Punk goes to bed with AJ Lee, and it's just him just like, what have I done? I don't know. Like I don't want AJ's retirement year to be dominated in him tag team with Dragon Lee though. I wouldn't want that.
No.
If they keep them for a few months and have something amazing going into like a Mania definitely not a main event. I'd love AJ to have another main event at WrestleMania, but not a tag team with Dragon Lee.
Has AJ had a Mania main event?
Yes, Undertaker. No one remembers it because it was the first 2 night. It was the pandemic.
Oh, it was the Boneyard match. I totally forgot about that. That was fun. But
no one sees that as a main event because it's just like, well,
I don't see it as a Mania, really.
Yeah.
Was that the same? Was the same year as the Firefly Funhouse, wasn't it?
It was,
which I loved. I know you hated it, but
I hated it. Like within like a 48-hour period, I was like, oh my god, cinematic wrestling is the best thing ever. To no, never again, never again. Like tag team. Well, again, going back a couple of years, they managed to make it. Sami Zayn, just speaking about him, with KO and the Usos tag team title match, WrestleMania main event. And the tag team division should be, the world tag team title should feel as important as world titles.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy to me that they never put that emphasis onto it. So when you go back crazily to the 80s, you have all these teams. You have the Road Warriors, you have the Four Horsemen, you have the Brain Busters in WWE version, you have the Rockers, you have Strike Force, you have all these teams, the Hart Foundation, the Bulldogs, etc., Demolition, and it's like this great era for tag team wrestling. And throughout the 90s, they just completely forgot it. It was like, oh, there was the Smoking Guns for a while and the Body Donners, but then you get to the Attitude Era where it's Edge and Christian, the Dudley Boys, the Acolytes, the Hardy Boys, and there's and the smattering of others. But like those were like the core teams, and then they dropped the ball on it. And I think that is still the last true great era of tag team wrestling, because you might say, oh well, the New Day and the Usos, but they're kind of big because of their personalities, not because of the tag team wrestling side of it. You know, like the Usos are only a big deal and main evented because of Roman, because that storyline was big. The New Day being voted the greatest tag team of all time, kudos to them, but there was no competition. It's like, who was their competition that they were up against? The Usos occasionally, when they were just coming down dressed as the traditional Samoan stereotypes. It's like the last 15 years haven't had any major tag teams other than the Usos and the New Day, which again, to me, it's like the New Day is so weird because they are all single stars that just seem like really good friends that have great personalities, that have good matches, and then any of them can be a world championship contender.
Right.
But as a tag team, it's just like what was their biggest feud?
The New Days.
Yeah, the New Days. Who
would be Usos?
Yeah.
Well, exactly, because they're
It's
the only other
generational,
tag
isn't
team that
it?
existed.
But I think there's a wider point there, isn't there, about like organic specialist tag teams versus thrown together tag teams, and it's become like a theme because Vince was famously like couldn't really care less about tag teams. Like, to make it in WWE or WWF as it was then, you had to be a single star. You had to be a breakout single star. And it seemed to me that when NXT was sort of in its heyday, you started to get through this new crop of really exciting specialist tag teams again. It was refreshing. Like, I can't believe I'm going to say it, but the Ascension, or like Undisputed Era, or the Revival, DIY, you know, Alpha, American Alpha, like these proper tag teams who came together in developmental and then just came up and split up and did nothing, and now we've just got thrown together nonsense again. Like, I think there's something to be said about like organic feeling tag teams.
Yeah, I mean, even
want to split them up.
Even like when you look at Seth as the world champion, and then there's Braun and Braun, it's like, well, they're both aching to be single stars. They don't want to be tag team at all.
Right. Well, because that's what the wrestling landscape, or certainly the WWE landscape, has conditioned them to need. They've got to be thinking, if I want a main event WrestleMania, it's 1 in a million chance of that happening as a tag team guy. So I'm going to have to make my own presence felt as a single star. You know?
I think something they could probably look to do is, when you look at like, there are some tag teams, like if you look at the Acolytes, the APA, Ron Simmons was already a world champion. He was they gave him a stupid helmet, but in WWF he came in as a single star that was like prominent. Mm-hmm. Bradshaw was never really something, but he was obviously just a big hefty guy. And it's like, well, are either of them going to be pushed as the main event now? I can't believe that somehow they gave Bradshaw eventually the $1 Million Man gimmick, and it worked. But basically,
a mind fuck at the time.
But what they need is someone who's in the position like Simmons was, where it's like, okay, so you're perhaps just not going to be in the main event, or it hasn't quite worked out here, but you know, you're competent. We're going to put you with someone else that hasn't really worked, and let's just go all in on making you a dominant monster tag team. And that's how you can create a really good tag team. Yeah. Then you get a couple of like high flyers or whatever, and you're like, look, we're going to give you matching costumes. We're going to give you personalities where, you know, the women are going to scream for you or whatever, and you're going to be the new Rock and Roll Express Rockers Hardys in that mold. You know, and then you're like, okay, now we'll have a brawling tag team like the Dudleys or whatever, and we're going to give you not tables, obviously, but we're going to give you some gimmick that you guys always go to this, and it's going to be more violent. And now all of a sudden you've got 3 tag teams that you can start to build around.
Yeah,
and that's the formula. It's pretty simple. You know, you have the tag team specialists, which are the Rockers, Edge and Christians, Hardys kind of mold. You have the sort of mix, like when you had like Brett and Neidhart, where one's the powerhouse, the other is more like the smaller guy or whatever. Or you have like the Road Warrior, Dudley Boys, where it's just 2 giant guys that are just going to pound on people. Yeah. It's so simple to get this together. You just need to find people where it's like, you know, can we commit you to this and really push you in this for like the next 5 years? And because even like the Shield, to me, like, how long were the Shield a thing? Like the Shield, I don't even consider, like, this is the thing, when you have 3-man groups, they're a group, they don't really feel the same as a tag team. So, you know, it's...
See, that's the other thing, because now they're thinking what they do with Grayson Waller with New Day. Like, where is this going as well? Like,
nowhere fast.
Yeah.
Grayson Waller is second. No, he's probably above Austin Theory now on just people who I have zero tolerance for. I just can't stand him at all. I can't stand him. But yeah, I would send him to TNA. That's where he belongs. Basically.
I think with the tag titles, I don't understand why they don't do what they've got with the women's tag and just unify them, because they're not getting enough time to mean anything separately. So unify them and have them defended across all 3 shows, and then start.
Oh, including NXT.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, absolutely. But like, you look at all the tag teams on SmackDown. I don't know why they loaded SmackDown so heavily, and Raw has got like 3 tag teams, and then they were bringing up Fraxium, who are amazing, and then they chucked them into the sort of cement mixer on SmackDown. Whereas if they put them on Raw, there's the sort of seeds that you're talking about of starting to get 3 or 4 really good teams in rotation with each other.
I can't get behind Fraxium for some reason. I like them; they're pretty good. They're very good in the ring, but I just can't connect with them.
Yeah, I think that's the missing ingredient with so many of the teams. It's like when they brought in it's like they bring onto the main roster Ciampa and Gargano, and it's like, oh, this is DIY. You remember them from NXT, right? And people were like, no, we didn't watch that show. Yeah. It's like, well, now they're a tag team, and occasionally we'll have them backstage trying to RKO Randy Orton or something. Yeah. It's like, so what's their gimmick? What's their aims in life? Yeah. It's like you don't have a sense of what they're about, and this is the problem with so many of the tag teams in particular. But it's also a problem with a lot of the mid cards who are just kind of there. You know, you need to get behind them on a personality level.
Well, and a big part of that is presentation, isn't it? And so this is where Def Rebel come in for Catching Strings again, because I think the music makes such a difference. I talked about the Brood earlier. I think part of what drew me to them was that amazing music. They loved it. Like,
okay, is Gangrel's theme the best theme of all time, or what?
Oh, big time.
I would fight for
it. It is definitely a top 5.
Yeah.
I don't know anything that's got a better opening. Like Brock's opening is great.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if Mike will pick it up, but that is like scary. That is great.
I immediately was like, who are these guys? Like, who are these guys? I want to know more. And the music now is so bad. Sorry, Gav.
It's so crazy because now you just said that. Like, just last night, I was watching something with Jim Johnson with how he created the Batista song.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember who it was that sung the song, but it shows like the guys then working together, and I was just like, why can't it just be like this? Like, why is this not happening anymore?
There's a really good. I think I've seen a separate interview with Jim Johnson where he's talking about composing Big Show's theme, which was never my top favorite, but it was great. But he was talking about playing the guitar, and he was showing the camera where it's like, well, Big Show's a giant, isn't he? So my theme for him is going to be like da dum da dum da dum. Like, so it had logic behind it. It had meaning behind it. Like,
I think that's like so important. Like, and the Attitude Era and like the years that followed, like even like Cena's, like when Cena first had his current theme, his like second theme, but like I was like, no, Basic Thugonomics is much better, but like they fit the characters. But like you go back to the 90s and the 80s, the themes were so good and so different from one another. You know, so different. Like, you know, you could say, oh well, like the Warriors and the Rockers, you know, a little bit like similar. It's just like fast beat and stuff like this. But like again, it's just like you need that hook at the beginning. And you need what it goes into. Now, what unfortunately, AEW are quite guilty of this. TNA were especially guilty of this. They're like, we'll just put their catchphrase at the beginning. We'll just put a catchphrase at the beginning. You know. And so like and like in WWE do that as well, because obviously like Booker T's theme, can you dig it, sucker? And then it's his theme, but his WCW theme even has a good hook at the beginning from before they added the catchphrase. You know, you need that hook. You need that hook.
And there's a couple still now, isn't there? Like Punk's record scratch, like LA Knight's music has a wow wow. Like there's a moment, a sting that grabs the audience.
Yeah,
Sorry,
absolutely.
Yeah, it was just basically the same as what you was just going to say. But I hated like the Death Rebel side of things now, where they're like role model. It's just like
it's dreadful. Bailey's especially good. Lord.
It's so tiring. It's just so lazy. Just come on.
I tried the other day to think of like what are some Death Rebel themes that I like.
Yeah.
Gunther's music, I think, is brilliant. I think that's Death Rebel, but I really struggle to. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Sure.
That one. That actually was a good improvement with the Uso one. That one. But
yeah, because they tried to bring, when they did reunite, they sort of played day one-ish.
Yeah,
and then no one was sort of in it too much.
Yeah.
And then I just put Jay's back on. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just on an article. It's just like a discussion actually. What are some good Death Rebel WWE themes?
Page 1 of 1.
Page 1 of 1. I don't know how old this is. This says 6 months ago. Okay, so people say like the Bloodline ones are good.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, Romans is kind of
Romans is right. Yeah.
Yeah. LA Knight, Liv Morgan, Penta.
Now Penta's is okay. I quite like Penta's, and Stephanie Vacates is okay.
Do you know what? I can't bring it to mind though. Like I know it's got like the big spinning thing. What is it? I was
going to say
you can't hum it.
Stephanie Vacates, check out Crash Holly.
Oh, is her theme similar to Crash's?
Similar like to Crash Holly.
I love little connections like that. Like when the Shield first debuted, and then obviously Roman had it as his theme for years.
Yeah.
I could never listen to it without thinking of Taz about his theme.
Wow.
Like every time they came out, I was like, well, that's just Taz, isn't it? You've just copied and pasted.
Yeah. Actually, saying that, Sid Justice, one of my favourite songs ever. And
Crush, yeah. Bada, bada, bom. Yeah, that's so weird. That's so weird that some of them like this. I saw a thing that came up on like Twitter or something the other day. I didn't realize this, but to me, if you remember it, like Steve Austin's theme in WCW, apparently like 10 different wrestlers had it at various points.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you know, but yeah, I can't remember enough to. You'd recognize it if you saw it back in the day, but apparently there was these clips of so many different people had it at different times.
And that's just like Randy sharing a song with CM Punk.
The Fire Burns. Yeah,
I didn't know he'd actually come out to it.
Once, I think
that's crazy that he actually came out to it though.
And the Patriot. I remember watching an old WWF pay-per-view and be like, where's Kurt Angle coming from? And then out came the Patriot. So
see, that was, but see, when that happened, I was like, that's the Patriots theme. Why have they given it Kurt Angle? Because I was still ready for the Patriot to return at that point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
and there's a couple from that era. Oh, like Ernest the Cat Miller's theme then went to the Funkasaurus. Yeah.
The Crystal Marshall. A little bit.
What's that?
She had a song. Who was it? It's gone right in my head. She had the same kind of songs as someone else as well, and I was just like, "Isn't that?"
Okay, so here's one. There's another one which I can't remember, but Chris Benoit's theme, Raven's theme, and Lita's theme are all ba 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 bum ba 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 bum. All of them ba bum ba bum 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 ba bum ba bum, and it's like, wait, ba 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 bum ba 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 bum. Ba-bum, 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 ba-bum. It's like they were all just basically and I forget what Ravens was, but I think it was Ravens as well was very similar.
Yeah.
There's only so many bombs you can bomb, so sometimes you've got to bomb when you should have bombed.
Well, it's just like you could easily like mix them. You could remix all of those together very easily.
Oh, but you said mix, and I suddenly had a hideous flashback to, was it Rated RKO? Was it where they just mashed their two things together? Oh, that was a dark time. And I think they did it with
Wait, what was
Show
that?
Miz as well. Yeah.
Show me. Oh yeah, I hate these little mixes.
Little mashup.
In the
It
comments,
worked though
apparently,
with,
in the comments, Wrestling Pedigree 92 says Cesaro had the same as Dean Malenko's theme.
Oh,
Is that
really?
true? That's crazy if so.
Wow.
Well, not his James Bond theme.
Might be, because he did come in like that at the beginning with Oksana, is it? Oksana?
I can't remember. I honestly can't remember.
I do remember.
That was before his
Roxana,
yogi
yeah,
and stuff, isn't it?
What, as Antonio Cesaro?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, because then Oksana started flirting around with Teddy Long, didn't she?
That's
and
it.
Became like a backstage thing.
Wow.
Those were heady times.
A very bad day.
We've been through some times as wrestling fans, haven't we? Jesus.
Yeah. Okay. Right. I'm going to have a quick look to see if there's any late breaking news. If not, we can begin to wrap things up here.
While you're looking that up, have you seen Becky Lynch is starting to feud with Jessica Carr, like referee? Yeah. I'm enjoying that. I hope that leads to something really entertaining. Yeah.
I think she's going to come out and start wrestling herself, I think.
Yeah, well, because she is it Evolved that she wrestles under a mask, doesn't she?
Yeah.
So there's something there that they can actually use. But I loved the little fast count.
That's pretty good.
And like Becky Lynch got a good match out of Maxine Dupree. Like
that was brilliant. That was just like, okay.
Yeah. I only wish, because the week before they'd done it where Jessica had fast counted, she'd gone 7, 8, 9, 10, you're out, which was great. I wish they'd done it this time because the title was on the line and Becky's the heel. I wish she'd grabbed her belt and gone to leave because she can't lose it on a count out. And then Jessica's just like, no, I'm not counting this time.
Yeah, true.
That'd been cool.
But they, of course, they may do that. Yeah.
But didn't Maxine win by disqualification?
Yeah.
Yeah, so she was her hometown and things like this.
Yeah,
that's right.
But no, she's massively improved. And I don't know how tall she is. She always seems very tall and long and slightly awkward with certain things. Mm-hmm. Because if she's taller than a lot of the other women, it'll be hard to do everything. To get everything just synced up, basically.
And I was going to say, even a couple of weeks ago, I noticed that she actually politely went into Becky, and she's like, you can see it when she comes out of character. She's like, oh, shoot, I'm sorry.
Whoops.
But those things happen anyway, you know?
Yeah.
So, but she's
I think this is about it. The only other thing I think was worth mentioning that we didn't bring up is there's like the internet have gone crazy for Marco Stunt in the last couple of days. That Marco Stunt, I think he had to retire. I think
really, I didn't know that.
Well, I think he had to retire within the last year. I think it was announced that there was some match where he's like, "This is going to be my last match."
Right.
He's so tiny, and he'd do all this stuff where he'd be thrown around, and it's like, well, you didn't have the, not everyone is Spike Dudley where they can just absorb everything. Right. So I think things caught up on him pretty quick, and so he was out of major wrestling other than like a one-off return to AEW. But it was that he's now running a car dealership or whatever, and some people have got, there's been a lot of fairly mean comments or whatever. Like, the guy's still got to make a living and do whatever.
Absolutely, yeah.
But he'll still be supportive, or I'm sure from this he'll end up turning up in AEW or something, just driving in Jungle Boy in a car. Yeah. Something like this made him a good deal. Right. But yeah, so people have gone crazy for Marco Stunt, but like, I think fine. Like, not everyone has to stay in wrestling or then just do a podcast or whatever later or be a coach. They can go on to do other things and then be successful in that regard as well.
Don't pay the bills, right?
Absolutely.
So, don't pay the bills.
Yeah.
And I think he lent into his character on this video where he's like hanging from a tree, just like Jungle Boy would or whatever in some of these early AEW videos. But yeah, so let's wrap things up there, guys. So let's tell everyone where you can find you on socials. Ian,
you can find me right here next time.
Gav,
I'm kind of the same right now. You
Yeah, that is so cool. It's so cool.
But yeah,
we're around, you know.
I'm trying to get that wrestling thing sorted out.
Yeah, we must watch that.
Put them on YouTube. I'm gonna try and stuff it up a little bit. So
amazing.
Yeah, we'll do a watch along on the show.
Yeah, we could do that. Yeah.
Awesome stuff. Okay, well, I do have things to plug. I always do. Right. My name's David Pstansky. Find me on Facebook, Instagram, X, etc. on David Pstansky. Follow me on Slam Jam Wrestling or Slam Jam Wrestling Show on all of the socials. And with that, until next time, stay safe, always stay extremes, and ciao for now, you Slam Jam Broners. Boom. And we're off the air.